Hey kids, you trying to get into Segment City? Well, you really shouldn't, because Segment City is a mature podcast, and listener discretion is advised. I'm just trying to look at... I know I'm in an alleyway. I know how I look, but I got some fireworks for you kids. I got snakes and I got sparklers. That's all I got. Oh, don't give me that.
Do you ever go on streaming services and you spot a movie that you're like, wait a second, I was looking forward to that movie. It came out?
How'd it come
I can't
out?
believe this. How'd it come out?
Yeah, this happened to me. Well, it happened to me recently with the Dune TV show, because the Dune TV show is out, and I was like, "Wait, I was looking forward to that." And then I
It's
saw
not completely out.
No,
though,
it's not.
is
But
it?
they released episode 3 recently, and I was like, "Wait a minute, I was supposed to be watching this."
That is it still? Yeah, it's still coming out. But I found. Have you seen the recent Hercule Poirot, Agatha Christie movies that they did, like Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile? What was the one that I was? I can't even remember. Oh, it was Murder in Venice, I think. What was the name? Oh, Haunting in Venice. That's what it was. I'm only halfway through this movie. Welcome to adulthood, everybody.
You watched half a movie, you absolute mad lad.
Welcome to adulthood. You have to do that sometimes, where you only. Which Andy got mad because she got really invested, and I was like, "We got to go to bed," and she was like, it was like angry.
Wait, what time did you start this movie?
It was like 11.
What was starting a
Went to
movie
bed
at 11
midnight.
p.m.? What are you talking about?
Because we didn't want to do other. Because we were literally just we weren't going to be that invested. We haven't even gotten to the quality level of the movie, because Death on the Nile, Murder on the Orient Express, good movie. I've really enjoyed it. I've seen it multiple times. Okay. It's fun. It's a fun little murder mystery. Death on the Nile was made during COVID, and it is a green screen nightmare. It's people walking into rooms and they're like empty rooms because they couldn't have staff, or like it's a nightmare. This movie, though, is fascinating to me because we were choosing between two different Hercule Poirot movies, because there's one from the 70s that was like boring because we watched a different one, and we were literally like halfway through that movie, and he was like, "Are you getting any of this? Like, is this way too convoluted?
Is any of this tracking?"
And I was like, "No, I thought it was just me." Like, I fell asleep during that movie and woke up to like the final reveal. I'm like, I don't give a shit. And so we were gonna watch another one of those, and I'm like, wait a second, we didn't like that guy. Like, we didn't like those movies.
Hold on a minute, we don't have to do any of this.
So let's watch The Haunting in Venice. And so we did. And it's directed and stars Kenneth Branagh, which I don't know if you know Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh, no.
Big Shakespeare guy. He directed the first Thor movie, and you would probably know him as Lockhart from the Harry Potter movies. He plays Hercule Poirot. He's a fine Hercule Poirot, but because he gets the fastidiousness, which back in the day, fastidiousness means just like the boy is just absolutely reeking of autism. Like, he's absolutely the most autistic man ever. But it's quirky and fun. He gets that part right because other people don't. But the problem with him is he's too handsome. He's not egg-shaped. Like
he's
Hercule
just
Poirot
too dang
should be.
handsome. Yep.
And it's a bunch of actors that you know, but the problem is they're a little too famous. Because Tina Fey immediately comes in. She's doing a transatlantic accent, literally going, well, if it isn't Hercule Poirot, my favorite friend. And
like, that's Liz
like,
Lemon.
Jesus.
You can't fool me.
It's like her doing a Liz Lemon bit. Like,
right.
And it's like other actors that Christian Grey, like the guy who played Christian Grey from the 50 Shades of Grey. That actor is like so boring and stuff. And he's in this, and he's like an alcoholic doctor guy. And anyway. So it's the reason why it's interesting, because I'm not going to go fully into the plot of this movie.
Well, you only know half of the plot of this movie.
I only know half. That's also a big problem. Michelle Yeoh is in it also, and she always looks stunning because she plays the occultist in it. So it's a lot of scenes. The main interesting thing is that Kenneth Branagh, I think, is very. He trusts that people are going to pay attention to a scene of people sitting in a room talking, which is 90% of murder mystery scenes is people in a room talking. And so every single shot is a different shot. And it's fascinating because 50% of the shots are absolute dog shit. And the other 50% are pretty good. Yeah, but they had a scene where they're literally in a kind of, the sets are also good. They learned from their CG nightmares, and some of the sets I was like, you need to get this in focus because this is a great set. But that was also the problem, is they would do a harsh close up on somebody and the background's out and like all blurry, and I'm like, bad shot. And then they'll do another shot that's just at a Dutch angle, like at a 45-degree angle for no reason. Like, bad shot. Like, so it's fascinating because literally every shot I was like, good shot, bad shot, middling shot. So it became a game for me of just like, why is he doing this? Why is it every shot? He doesn't return to any shots too. So that it'll be like a close up on somebody and then a slightly different close up from a different angle. And I'm like, what are you doing, Kenneth Branagh? Like, figure out what you want. Because it feels like if somebody came up to me and was like, you need to shoot this space. We're going to be filming these scenes. You need to figure this out right now. Like, it simultaneously felt like the not thought out, but I knew they had to have thought it out to do some of the camera moves. Like, so it's like some of the things I'm like, you blocked this out. You've obviously thought about this to a certain degree, but it still feels off the cuff, and it doesn't, and not in a good way.
It sounds like he's like directing live TV, but he's like, give me the other shot. Now go to the overhead. Now back.
I feel like that's what he kind of wants to do, because I feel Kenneth Branagh, Shakespeare guy, I think is into the concept of like, on the stage, we're going to have a true performance.
Oh, yes, it's theater.
So I could see him being into something like that, but it's also like every time they did it, like they did handheld shots where they just have a handheld camera. It's so fucking like shaky, yeah. And I was like, this would be fine if you had a tracking shot or like something stabilized. He doesn't stabilize. I could like nitpick something, but this is an audio medium, and this is also a movie that most people probably haven't seen.
You're not convincing me to watch this at all.
No, I mean, no, this wasn't supposed to be convincing you. Okay. I just wanted to talk about it because I thought it was interesting.
I did over the last week go. Listen, the Wicked marketing got to my family, and therefore I saw Wicked. And I will tell you this. Great movie. Good movie. I liked it more than I thought I could. But that's not the part I want to talk about. The part I want to talk about is this was my first ever Wicked experience. I've never seen the play. And the number of people I've talked to that go, you've never seen Wicked? And I'm like, yeah.
Anyone who says that about literally anything, it's like
I've never gone to
a narrow view of life.
Yeah, I've never gone to Broadway and seen Wicked. I'm sorry, I'm an uncultured swine. Okay,
and it's funny because you could do that for literally anything that nobody's. You haven't seen Citizen Kane, a movie from the 1930s.
So, anyways, knowing that this was the audience in the theater
with you, yes,
with me, while we were waiting in line to get into the theater, surrounded by everyone who had already bought a ticket. I just loudly turned to my girlfriend and go, so this is about a witch or something? The number of people that turned their heads and snapped and locked their eyes on to me.
I love that for you, man. What a move.
I thought it was really good. And then to prove the point that I was just being an ass, I loudly followed it up with, so how does this tie in with the Avengers?
This is the beginning of your dad arc. Like, that was such a dad joke. I respect it. What is this? Hey, what's with all the little guys on the poster?
What's
Lord
that
of the
about?
Rings? I don't get it.
Something?
Why is she green? Oh my god! Yeah,
I never cease to amuse myself. You know,
I've actually seen Wicked in not on Broadway, but somebody
theater.
had because somebody, like a friend, had a free ticket, and it was freshman year, and I was at Boston, so I'm like, yeah, I got a free day, let's go.
It's great.
Watched it. It's good. It's a good play.
The movie was great. I will say, it's possible that Ariana Grande is just on screen as herself, and she doesn't realize it's a role. It's so incredibly well cast. Like she nails it. Just like this person who has never struggled a day in their entire life and like knows that they are pretty and popular. And I'm like, yeah, that's Ariana Grande. That's who that is.
Yeah, to a T.
Right.
That's yeah. It's weird because Annie was talking to me about how she showed a post to me of like a Tumblr post because I had seen Wicked. I didn't remember a ton of the plot points, but she's like, isn't it funny how at the same time that Dorothy is doing this thing and that this all like the messiest 6-person love triangle is going on. Yeah. and I was just like, yeah, but it's fan fiction. It's fan fiction of Wizard of the Oz.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's not official. Not Frank Herbert. That's who did Dune. Who did? I forget
the original Wizard. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. Yeah, it does add a cool contextualized. Also, Jeff Goldblum. Oh, come on, chef's kiss. He's the wizard. Come on.
Yeah.
They have at one point in the movie. They attend this Hogwarts like school. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So at one point in the school, she goes in this back alley and there's like this carved bust of the wizard's face. And I didn't know that Jeff Goldblum was a wizard. So it was just a carved bust, like 10-foot tall face of Jeff Goldblum. And I started cackling. Because imagine wandering through your school and you stumble upon just Jeff Goldblum's massive face. Incredible.
Oh my God. I mean, not even just Jeff Goldblum, because our college, Northeastern, had a big meme culture around Aoun, the president.
Yeah.
If you saw Aoun's face,
giant Aoun's face, it's so good.
That would be amazing. Everyone would be like, you know what? That was worth the money. That and the
that
flat
right
screen
there.
TVs that you put into every fucking classroom.
Truly, Michelangelo was on the case for this one.
One last thing about Wicked. My mom has a crippling fear of the monkeys from Wizard of Oz.
She's not going to like this movie.
My aunt was like, how about we go see Wicked?
No.
Just hearing that.
Do you want to see a close-up of the angry monkey turning into a flying winged beast, like an absolute, and shrieking like a chimpanzee?
My mother would.
No. That is a big scene in this movie.
Cannot do it. Cannot do it.
Won't do it.
But you know what? In Segment City, those winged monkeys work for Amazon. They've actually, they're part of the workforce now.
Right.
That's capitalism for you, baby. You got to get that green in order to live. My name is Will Kane, and I'm looking to the sky looking for any houses falling on me. I don't want to be hit.
And I'm Theo Sapakos, and I'm going to follow the Yellow Brick Road, and it's going to lead me to realize that Will's a big, fat, phony liar. He doesn't have any magic.
Phony. I love the term phony because I think there was a Family Guy reference, or like where it's this guy going, phony. And this is a podcast in which Theo and I dumpster dive our way through the internet, get those good comedy morsels, we package them into segments for you. And Theo, we're going to actually start differently than we normally do.
What?
Because this is, I'm going to label this segment, who is this for?
Okay, who is this for?
Who is this product for?
Who's this for?
I found a Reddit post that sent me down a little bit of a rabbit hole, which it's from r/acoustics, soundproof mask for gaming.
Soundproof mask?
Mask for gaming. I will show you. I Googled this, and there are multiple companies.
I am imagining something like a Doctor Doom-esque mask that you put on.
That's full of a mask.
I can't. Are you just talking about literally like a face shield like you'd wear during COVID to like not spread germs?
I will literally send you a picture. I have watched videos from CES.
I don't even understand
one of these
products.
products.
I need to see this because I don't really understand how this.
It is a product that the whole point of it.
Okay, this does look like a sex thing. Well, you have to say up front.
Okay, this other one that I'm about to send you 100% looks horrific. Is a horrific version of this.
You sent me a picture of a man. Oh my God. No. This looks like a device that an evil villain would suck your voice away with. It's just a little 100%. Contraption
because that's what it's supposed to do.
It looks like an electronic feedback. It looks like an Oculus for your mouth.
Well, let's get into...
One man is wearing an Oculus for his eyes and an Oculus for his mouth, and it's not good. It's not good.
That model I showed you was the MuTalk 2, and yeah, that definitely... It has nose holes. Like, you can get a version that looks like an Oculus for your face and one that has nose holes. So it looks like a gas mask. Like, it's so weird.
Is the idea of the product that you can have your voice completely isolated and not have any background noise for a microphone?
It is so you can talk in public without people hearing your conversation.
That's insane.
It is. And it's also for game. The reason why they say it's for gaming too is so that you're not screaming at 2:00 in the morning and other people can hear it.
If I saw someone walking around with this, I would call the police.
It looks like a muzzle. That's why.
It's crazy.
Like Hannibal Lecter is out and he's eating faces right now.
Right.
He's next to me.
This person is out of whatever facility they're supposed to be in.
So I saw at CES they had like an Engadget version of this, which is the SkyTed mask, which aesthetically looks a lot better, but it's still not great. It looks, it goes fully over your nose and mouth and stuff. I can see if I can send you a picture of this. But yeah, the whole point is so that you can go on a train, you could talk about like Zoom, you could do Zoom calls or whatever, and not have anyone hear your conversation. This one looks like a beak that I just sent you.
That's insane. Okay, this one looks a little bit more like a regular mask. I would think that somebody was wearing kind of like a high-tech like COVID mask or something like this. It's still wild. I can't wait for the next season of The Wire where everyone's wearing one of these and you don't get any facial expression from the actors. Can't wait. So did you murder him?
They did make a point in the video being like, so it doesn't, like, you can't scream in it. It just reduces the decibels by a certain amount. It's like 20 decibels, which is a ton, but it's also like, you can't, people will still hear something if you just like, but I just wanted to bring this up because it was so wild. There's not really news stories that I could find that are like, hey, what the heck? It was mostly people kind of on board with it, or like at least being like, wait and see, which I'm kind of at the point of like, I don't think this is going to do that well. It's a little too niche of an experience thing. Like, I think it would be good for CEOs who are talking about like trade secrets constantly on the phone, I suppose. But like for me on the train, I guess and also people brought up like in Europe, there are some silent cars on trains and stuff that it could be useful there. But like, I don't know, to my life, not really affected much.
Well, I'm just like kind of surprised that there's so much. I guess like it's there's a gadget for someone. There's a gadget for everybody's desire and everybody's want. I still think that like, unless you need to take a business call on a plane, there's probably no need for this.
No, absolutely. I mean, CES is known for doing like far out gadgets a little bit.
Right.
And this is no exception, but in terms of like actual product use, I don't think it's going to be anything really. Right. But you know what I hope will be useful? Your first segment.
Well, my next segment has come up with something that is completely useless. And
not great. That's not a great intro.
It's truly a great day to be scouring the depths of PR Newswire, digging through the mud.
Oh, yeah. Getting really into the... You know what? Let's just say in the shit. You're in the shit every time you're going through that cesspit, which is PR Newswire.
That's right. Now, this is obviously in the culinary space, but the first words are Build-A-Bear for this news story. And it is Build-A-Bear and KFC unveil a deliciously playful limited edition collection. And again, who's this for?
Who is this
for?
This is actually a better segue than I thought.
Who is this for?
Who is this for? Yeah. I mean, in terms of Venn diagrams, I think there's worse than Build-A-Bear and KFC. Right?
It's just
like both.
Okay. Build-A-Bear.
We'll get into it.
KFC.
I need to know what types of bears, though.
Okay, that's true. Okay, here's the story. Build-A-Bear Workshop, the beloved global brand known for its heartwarming, memorable experiences, has teamed up with KFC, the original fried chicken brand, for a finger-licking good collaboration available starting today. This tasty mashup of comfort plush and comfort food is playfully inspired by KFC's classic red and white striped bucket. What don't you like?
I've been to Build-A-Bear a couple of times when I was a kid, and they would always do the thing where they would take the heart and they would like rub it. I always wondered if anyone got like a college student or somebody who was like on their last day and just so over it, where they're just like, yeah, whatever, just rub the heart and it'll have magic in it. But like, I don't want him to rub the heart, put it in the Build-A-Bear, and then start licking his fingers.
Yeah,
the finger licking good.
Just remember, kids, the Colonel says, "Ooh, your heart, that's finger licking good."
I love the blood. The ventricles are amazing.
It really powers me. Launching just in time to celebrate togetherness during the holiday season.
This
unique collection combines Build-A-Bear's signature creative interactive fun with KFC's rich tradition of comfort food and family meals. Not something I generally think of going together.
No, and this is one of those PR things that they're going around the main issue, the elephant in the room. What the heck are these flavors? Is it Colonel Sanders? I feel like it's Colonel Sanders itself,
okay, here we go.
Fine.
The collection, available exclusively at Build-A-Bear workshops and online at www.buildabear.com, will feature limited edition outfits and accessories inspired by KFC, including the KFC bucket costume. Take your love for KFC to new heights with this charming KFC bucket costume for your furry friend, who will look adorable nestled inside. It's a finger-licking fun way to show your love of fried chicken, making it the ultimate gift for KFC fans.
I don't know what I expected.
I don't know what you expected either. Of course, it's just put a bucket of fried chicken on.
It's just a bucket.
Hey, you know what I realized? You know what I realized reading this? Build-A-Bear is just trying to do a fortnight. They're just doing a fortnight, Will. That's all they're trying to do.
That ship, because I've walked past Build-A-Bears as a adult. You can't go into a Build-A-Bear, or else the police will just
registered as sex offender.
But I've looked in and seen full Elsas and stuff, and I'm like, where's the bear?
This is not
a bear.
No,
it's not a bear with Elsa's hair. It is Elsa, which is bullshit. It's Build-A-Bear.
I will also say that KFC is known as a fast food brand for being sort of an inexpensive dinner option. Build-A-Bear, super pricey.
Super pricey. It's about the experience, which I understand, but it's not. It's losing its charm.
That's right, it is.
Especially if you just put bucket. Does it have armholes at least?
I'll send you a photo. I'm going to send you a screenshot after this, after I read the next two. The KFC plush chicken wristy. We're going to find out what that is together. Your bear won't go hungry with this adorable KFC chicken wristy, a plush chicken leg that attaches to their paw. Perfect for satisfying those imaginary cravings. Hey, Will, your little plush chicken can be eating a chicken. So don't worry about that in case you're wondering.
In all of the animals that they've had at Build-A-Bear, chicken has absolutely been part of that society.
It has to have been there.
This imaginary Animal Crossing society. So that implies that they eat the chickens, which is kind of fucked up.
Like your neighbor just starts putting up flags saying like, yeah, I eat you. But and I love doing it. We're all about it over in this household.
What happened to Dave? Dave, I haven't seen Dave in a while, and you're just like have the.
He's been wristied. And finally, the KFC pajama outfit. Snuggle up in style. This cozy two-piece pajama set features a KFC onesie and chicken leg slippers, bringing crispy comfort to bedtime.
Chicken leg slippers. Okay, you have sent me the pictures.
I've sent you the photo, and the bucket is just a bucket.
The bucket is, I'm going to say it's a little bit cuter than I thought it was going to be, but also it's like plush. I thought it was going to actually be like a solid.
You thought it was going to be like a popcorn bucket that they cut holes out of and just slap the Build-A-Bear in there?
I would have not put that past Build-A-Bear workshop. The onesie, boring as heck. It just kind of has a drawing of a little chicken tender on the socks. Not very fun.
The slippers are kind of fun, though. Whether you're surprising the fried chicken lover in your life or treating yourself to a memorable collectible, which is a wild sentence to say, because whether you're surprising the chicken lover in your life implies that you could be buying this as a gift, which is acceptable as an adult. Or treating yourself to a memorable collectible implies that you, an adult, are going into the Build-A-Bear workshop in the mall and saying,
I need it.
And saying, this one's for me, actually. This one's actually for me.
Kiss the heart. I want to kiss the heart. Give me the heart.
I want to kiss the heart. I know I was in here yesterday. I need to kiss the heart again.
I need the limited edition. You said I limited to one. So I'm back.
This collaboration brings the best of both brands to the table and is rooted in a shared commitment to serve everyone joy through heartwarming experiences. And now we get to the quote.
Oh, my
Here
heart.
we go.
My heart's so fucking warm right now.
You could feel the kisses right on your heart.
Ouch.
I want to squeeze it.
Ouch.
This collection is a blend of creativity, nostalgia, and fun that unites fans of both iconic brands in an unexpected way, said Sharon Prince John, president Price John is president and CEO of Build-A-Wear Workshop. It's all about delivering playful, memorable experiences, served up with a side of KFC's signature comfort. Together, we're bringing two beloved passions, customization and comfort food, to the table in a whole new way. Hey, Sharon, you need to get the hell out of there. Two beloved passions, customization and comfort food. That's nothing, Sharon.
Hey, and Sharon, you're full of shit, and we both know it.
We all know it. I know we lambast people on this show all the time for their stupid quotes, but this is one of the all-timers, Sharon.
Sharon, you're really fucking this up.
This is stupid, Sharon.
This chicken collab that nobody's looking forward to.
No one's looking forward to. No one asked for this, and no one will be buying this.
No, absolutely not. The KFC bucket, fine. If that was one of a couple of different outfits that they had, because in my mind, here's what I thought. Mm-hmm. They were going to have the full Colonel Sanders white suit. That, to me, is a no-brainer. If you're going to have if you're going to have KFC, you're going to have Colonel Sanders, like, give him the little mustache and stuff. They didn't do that.
Right.
Another thing, dress them up like the employees. I think that's cute. That even if it's a little bit weird, like if they had like
it's right.
It's a little bit weird, but for this, like, do something. Oh, and the best thing of all, I could imagine, have a full chicken that's fried chicken without a head and stuff. Like, it's just a fried chicken doll plushie that you can dress up. Yeah, go for it. Why not? It's fried chicken. Like, because it's just a onesie. It's boring.
So, Will, this actually is less expensive than I thought. So I went on the Build-A-Wear website, and you can get Happy Hugs Teddy Bear KFC Bucket gift set, which comes with the bear, the bucket, the wrist accessory chicken, and the shoes. $54. Not insane.
That's kind of insane.
Maybe my adult sense has skewed the prices of things. You're right that this is a toy. That maybe I should set my standards I should set my standards lower. This should cost less. It's a mass-produced.
I mean, right. There's a slightly higher quality Build-A-Bear, I guess. That it's, once again, about the experience. But if you're just ordering it online and it's $50, you're not getting that experience. It's just, yeah.
Sometimes I wonder how we got conned into paying money to show fandom to brands. Here we are, Will. I hope we can. I mean, if you're
a KFC head,
you're a big bucket head,
then I think you might have problems.
I'm a bit of a bucket head myself.
If that's your main thing that you're into.
That's your main thing. If you walk into someone's apartment, they invite you over and you get in there and it's just KFC memorabilia as far as the eye can see. Do you respect it or do you get creeped out a little bit or both?
Oh, creeped out. Absolutely creeped out. Because it's Andy and I once watched a show that was like the most amazing interiors to whatever. A guy had a full, like, basically sports bar in his basement for, it was like the Cubs or something. It was
like, that's too much.
And even for that, I'm like, that's a widely recognized hobby.
And it's only one room in your house.
And that's too much. Yeah, it was a huge room.
It's a big room.
Yeah, you would have like guests over and stuff. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you should.
At least it probably has resale value.
I guess, but it was also insane fandoms people can be a part of.
Well, I hope your next segment is a fandom that we can really sink our teeth into.
Oh, I hoped that you would do that transition because you're a huge fan, my friend, because we're going to thetakeout.com.
Oh my gosh, they're alive and well, stronger than ever.
I
would not say stronger than ever. No, I don't think so.
I have a few food articles for you today. I'm taking over for you. This first article from The Takeout is Pizza Hut tomato wine. Does it actually taste like Pizza Hut? We find out.
I need to know the review because I did hear about this wine and I need to know the review. I need to know the review on this because it's made of tomatoes, my guy, not grapes. What's going on?
They had another article that was like before that I'll also be referencing, which has a better title of Ever Crazed Pizza Flavored Wine? Well, Pizza Hut has you covered.
It's got you covered.
It's a little bit better. There's something about the holiday season that brings to mind images of wine glasses clinking in group settings. And what's easier to feed a large group than a pizza? Nothing.
Nothing.
But of course, it wouldn't be a proper Italian night without a little vino to go along with it. I think if you showed this to an actual Italian, they would pull out a gun and shoot themselves. Like,
I think that the 93-year-old woman from our last episode who started all these Italian restaurants, she's spinning prematurely in her grave.
She's just in Miami. She goes, you know what? I'm done. And she just walks into the ocean.
You know what? A Pizza Hut is the last straw.
No more.
No more.
So Pizza Hut has launched a limited edition bottle of its first ever tomato wine. Yep, Pizza Hut is selling bottles of tomato wine inspired by its own pizza recipe. Pizza Hut might not be the first place you might think of uncorking a wine, but you'd be surprised. Some Pizza Hut locations still even serve alcohol, depending on your taste. Pizza Hut is ranked pretty highly against other pizza chains, which I can't really corroborate that well. I haven't had Pizza Hut in a hot second. So,
well, it's like Pizza Hut, Domino's,
Domino's
Papa John's. I don't know.
I haven't had Papa John's in a very long time, too. With that in mind, the chain is breaking neither tradition nor good sense with its limited launch of this product, which I go against.
I disagree heartily with.
I disagree. Normally, promotions like this come in the form of a giveaway or sent to media professionals as part of a gimmick. Rarely does a brand make something like this available to the public for purchase, but leave it a Pizza Hut to make pizza wine a reality right before the holidays.
Rarely does a brand have the balls it takes to release it to the general public.
They have an image of the wine, which has a wax seal on the top. It has a Pizza Hut cork. Like beautiful. On the side of it is full. It's pretty nice. This is probably a display one. And then two like cast iron goblets of Pizza Hut like painted outside of like stainless steel.
Pizza Hut is like, is this what you drink wine out of? We've never done this before.
We've literally never done this. To create these special bottles, Pizza Hut worked with Kansas-based winery called Just Beyond Paradise, which, if you were wondering how to buy this, you go to Just Beyond Paradise's website to buy it from them, which is also kind of weird. I feel like it's usually the opposite. Huh. Like they don't, it would be on the Pizza Hut website as opposed
usually
to
they go to your website and tell you you're getting it.
Yeah, normally they tell you get it. Per Pizza Hut, the wine is infused with basil, made from tomatoes, and contains a blend of herbs and spices with a bit of toasted oak, which to me sounds like that's
it's
tomato
got
soup.
Basil. Yeah, that's not good. I don't think that's a good thing. They shouldn't be bragging about this.
No. All this is meant to make the wine taste like Pizza Hut's pizza recipe. So I guess they're on point if they're doing that. The bottle's label also notes that it contains vegetable juice for color. This makes sense when looking at the pour of the wine, which has a slightly red tinted color, almost clear.
If their goal was to just make a liquid that tasted like their pizza, they could have just put tomato sauce with basil in a jar and sold it to us.
It does exist. It's called V8.
Yeah, they should have done that if that was their goal.
I mean, they do say that it tastes like a V8. We'll get to that in a second. But the tomato wine on its own and a gift set that includes 2 Pizza Hut wine glasses and a Pizza Hut corkscrew are both for sale on the winery's website. The wine alone is priced at $25 for 2 bottles, which is the minimum purchase, or $60 for the gift set. Each bottle is 375 milliliters and contains 12.7% alcohol. So I'm going to say not a bad price if you want this nasty wine.
This is tomato water. What do you expect to play for?
It's not a bad price.
It's not a bad price for tomato water? Okay.
Now, what does it actually taste like? Does it actually taste like pizza, though? Well, yes and no. What this wine tastes like is tomato and some spices. In fact, I'd say it kind of tastes like a spiced up V8 juice drink with alcohol in it. But to answer the obvious question, yes, this limited time wine would pair well with a personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut, as this author did, or with any pizza.
I mean, I suppose some people are really into Bloody Marys, and that could be this for them. I mean,
yeah, I guess. But a Bloody Mary sounds better. Like if somebody offered, actually. I mean, this is like a special thing. Like, but if we lived in a world where it wasn't a special thing, then I wouldn't drink it.
Do you think that they would respond to a request, a comment on whether this ages finely? Like this is a Pizza Hut 2024, and it's being served in like 2035.
That's true.
Like
maybe
11-year vintage.
I didn't think about that. It's in some person's wine cellar. Like there's
sitting and just
rich man
ruminating.
of like, Jeeves, I think today I'll have the 2024 pizza tomato wine.
Very good, Mr. Wayne.
Very good, sir. Shall I serve it in the Pizza Hut wine glasses?
Shall I pour it into a bread bowl as you take all of your wines?
Yes, Jeeves. And we will recreate the pizza. Put cheese on it too, Jeeves. But a brie. Like something fancy. So pizza aim for the swine was to taste like its own creation, or at the very least, like its crust, which is a weird thing to say.
It's really weird.
I can't say thoughts of pizza came to mind on the first sip. For that to have happened, the wine should have been a more buttery quality, and which is wine speak for like flows on the tongue a little bit better, I think. And while I'm not a fan of a dark red wine, it probably would have been made more sense for the flavor, because right now it kind of looks like a rosé. As of this writing, the Pizza Hut tomato wine is sold out, but don't fret. Another batch is coming for those who are eager to have their own pizza and wine night. In the meantime, you can try and find the nearest Pizza Hut classic restaurant to really bring on the nostalgia ahead of the holiday season.
They're doing another batch? I mean, this is great. This is the people are demanding it.
We could get it if we really wanted to.
It's only, what, $15? That's great. That's good. That's good drinking. That's good stuff right there.
I have one article that I just want to read the title of because it's horseshit. It should be on PR Newswire. But this is from Sci
What do you
Tech
mean?
Daily.
PR Newswire is only gold, Will.
It's biased gold. It's biased. It's fool's gold. But this article made me just laugh out loud. Reduced abdominal fat. Researchers uncovering surprising health benefits of maple syrup.
No. I'm
sorry. And this is horseshit because the first comment on it that I saw was, this is literally sponsored by the like Canadian Maple Syrup Consortium or something like that.
This
is one of those like
falsehoods.
It's one of those one of the studies they did that's like sugar's great for you, paid by the sugar company. It's the exact same thing.
Thanks.
But that was not the article I wanted to read. I really wanted to do a little bit of a Thanksgiving hangover. This is a little bit of a post-Thanksgiving. This is from Cowboy State Daily, which honestly I'm going to visit.
Cowboy State Daily. That's great.
Yeah. Utah officials tell people to stop brining turkeys in the Great Salt Lake.
Hey, they shouldn't have to tell you that.
Come on. They said that in the article too. They're like, we shouldn't have to say this, but please. Great Salt Lake State Park in Utah has issued a Thanksgiving week message telling people to stop brining turkeys in the Great Salt Lake. Monday's warning was prompted by finding a wayward bird on a beach that may have been brining in the lake. Thanksgiving week, people seek an edge to cooking the best bird, and for many that means brining their birds. But some Utah residents take that a little too far, putting their turkeys into the Great Salt Lake to brine.
Oh my
God.
That
feels like a euphemism. Great Salt Lake State Park and Marina is sharing a silly but serious message for Salt Lake City residents. Don't brine your turkey in the Great Salt Lake. It's probably for the best that this turkey didn't get cooked because, quote, I wouldn't say a lot of people tried to do it, but some people believe it might be a good idea to try, said Ryan Sylvester, the lead park ranger aide at the Great Salt Lake State Park. You wouldn't want your whole meat soak in that.
You don't want to put your whole meat soak in there.
You won't get a meat soak. The Great Salt Lake is more than the largest salt lake in the Western Hemisphere. It's a dynamic ecosystem that supports brine shrimp and a wide variety of shorebirds and waterfowl.
You're going to kill all the whales. You're killing the sharks. You're putting your turkey in there.
I mean, TLDR, there's shit tons of minerals. from Sylvester, quote, we have a lot of potassium, sulfur, and other stuff that you're not going to want in your turkey to be brining in. The Great Salt Lake salinity ranges from 5% to 27%, depending on the water level. It's much easier and safer to pass the table salt than hope a single bite of a drumstick doesn't give Grandpa hypernatremia or too much sodium in the blood. So basically,
not a good idea.
But they also have another theory about this turkey. A properly brined turkey should be fully submerged in the brine, either in a sealed bag or a cooler. The Great Salt Lake has waves, which are less than ideal for any meal. Strong waves can quickly turn a turkey into a castaway waterfowl, which is what Sylvester thinks might have happened to the turkey on the Silver Sands beach. Of course, there's another possible explanation. Sylvester hasn't ruled out the possibility of the turkey artillery theory.
Okay.
Quote, some people will shoot turkeys into the lake with a turkey cannon. I couldn't get through that.
That's amazing. What are we talking about?
I like that you're silent for most of the article because it's like, yeah, that's pretty good facts. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so it gets here and it's like, You hit the same point in the article that I went, this is amazing. This is podcast ready.
This year we're going to show the redcoats what America is really about. Load the cannons.
So I'm going to say the quote again because quote, some people will shoot turkeys in the lake with a turkey cannon. Like many people use a potato cannon, he said. I'm not sure if that's the case here, but I know people occasionally do things like that.
This man is confessing to the crime. Listen to him.
Hey, somebody might have done it. It might have been a very, it might have been a 12-inch cannon, for example. It could be that. It is legal to carry a firearm in any state park, state wildlife management area, state and national wildlife areas and refuges, national parks in Utah. I think that's only in Utah. That feels like a very Utah thing. There are no state ordinances specifying about carrying or firing turkey cannons.
Can you imagine? Okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
Jokes outside the window right now. All right.
Yeah.
In order to launch a turkey, let's assume a 15-pound bird. Do you know how much thrust you would need? How much explosion power behind to launch a 15-pound ballistic? And that's not even that big of a turkey. Let's say a 20-pound turkey.
Yeah, I think a potato cannon. It's more of a t-shirt cannon. I don't know because potatoes small. Like a potato is literally
small and also importantly
5 times smaller.
It's also dense.
Yeah.
So this assumes that somehow someone's launching turkeys and they're not disintegrating on the spot because I'm imagining that they fire the cannon and it just goes turkey chunks everywhere.
Oh yeah, you would be launching the skeleton of the turkey and all the meat is still there.
And all the meat is scattered around.
Yeah, that's we are at the end of their article, so this is a great time to be talking
absolute insanity.
The turkey cannon, because it would be a full fucking cannon. It would have to be the size of a cannon. That because a turkey is bigger than a cannonball. Like it's huge. So to launch I think in their mind it is a whoomp, like using air to propel it. But 15 pounds you just need so much air pressure. Yeah, insane. It's insane.
I'm looking up
turkey cannons.
So I'm looking up for reference. There's something called a 20-pounder Parrott rifle, which is an old school cannon that was used at it's located at the Gettysburg National Park.
Yeah.
A military park. So I'm trying to figure out. So this gun fired a 20-pound projectile to a distance of 1,900 yards, which is huge.
But that's a solid metal cannonball. Like we said,
that's a small metal cannon. Exactly. So I want to look here. I'm trying to figure out how much.
I'm thinking
the gunpowder charge weighed 2 pounds and fired the projectile with a muzzle velocity of 1,200 feet per second.
Where the fuck is the Mythbusters when you need them? Because I'm already imagining I would get different sized birds.
Right.
I would get a quail, like a small bird.
Right.
I would get a chicken. I would get a turkey. I would see if that affects it. Because if you could do it for a quail without destroying it, maybe you can do higher pressures. But I feel like a turkey, no matter what, it's going to be.
You also have to have 2 pounds of packed gunpowder on hand to launch launch this turkey. That's what I'm saying. We
got better gunpowder technology. I'm not worried about the gunpowder necessarily. I'm worried about the structural integrity of the turkey. It's not going to
because you need a perfectly turkey-shaped tube so it doesn't disintegrate. Because if there's any extra room, it's going to the side. It's not going straight. You need it to go straight only.
I just realized you need rifling. You need a spin to it.
Yes, you need rifle.
Inside.
Of course you do. Or else it's going to self-destruct.
For people who know, a bullet spins. That's how it goes straight. It spins in the. But you would have to have the turkey spinning. Think about that now. Listen, Cletus, did you get the rifling of all the cannon? Oh, shucks, I didn't. And it's
also,
it's going far.
The cannon that fired the 20-pound projectile weighed 1,700 pounds. Someone doesn't just casually have that and is shooting turkeys all over.
They're imagining that somebody, because I think in this park ranger's mind, they have a Spider-Man villain that they're fighting right now, who has a little mini reactor in their minivan that they could use to be like a rail gun.
It's just a rail gun of turkeys. There's like a magazine of turkeys. Like it's just a tube full of turkeys, and they top load it, and then they just reload it by pulling the lever action back.
We need more ammo. Go to Costco. We gotta get a 20-pack of turkeys. They don't even have those.
This just in: turkey shortage in South Carolina because the turkey gobbler's back at it again. He's gobbled up all those turkeys. He's shooting people with them. You stay inside, stay safe with your family this Thanksgiving.
General Grant Gobbler is here, and he's launching turkeys. The turkey wars have begun. Oh my god, I'm lightheaded from this turkey cannon.
This is ridiculous. This is completely ridiculous. I know people have them. I know.
There's gotta be them. But hopefully your next segment is just as ridiculous.
I hope so too. This one is an Am I the Asshole? And it is also a Thanksgiving hangover. Listen, there's drama around Thanksgiving in everybody's family. Mm-hmm. And this one is an especially juicy story. So buckle up. This one's a long one. We got a couple of updates. We got a real long one for you today. So
as juicy as a brine turkey.
Juicy as a brine turkey. Am I the asshole for telling my sister she's not allowed to bring her homemade food to Thanksgiving because her cooking is ruining the meal?
I should be like, well, the whole point is homemade food, but if it's dog shit, then yes, that's probably bad.
Okay, here we go. Every year, our family does a big Thanksgiving dinner, and we all typically bring a dish or two. My sister, who's a lovely person in every other way, insists on cooking something homemade every time. The issue, she's not a good cook.
You always say that about people who that you're about to dunk on. She's a great person in every way. That's in what you hear right before being broken up with.
But her fatal flaw, I am about to expose to the world.
Absolutely fucking dunk on her right now.
And I don't just mean not great. I mean, she has somehow managed to turn classic dishes into borderline inedible creations. Ugh. For context, last Thanksgiving, she showed up with her special recipe. Stuffing that was over-seasoned with random spices like cinnamon, and cardamom. It was dry and the flavors were confusing and totally off for stuffing. Only one person took a small bite and the rest went untouched. Another year, she brought a green bean casserole that had some kind of strange, chewy texture. And she later admitted she used coconut milk and almond flour to experiment. What? No one wanted seconds of that either.
Those even go with green bean casserole.
No, it doesn't go.
Green bean casserole is the easiest fucking shit. You literally throw cream of chicken. Yeah.
It's cream of corn or something. It's cream of onion soup.
Yeah, and then you put it on there. The crispy onions on top. You're done. It's done.
Don't put cardamom in there. Don't put flour, almond flour there.
Almond flour. That's insane.
Will, you're getting prematurely riled up because this person hasn't committed any crimes yet, and they're getting to it.
I do love that everybody is like, I can spot that dry ass stuffing from a mile away.
I am not touching that. No way. This year, I'm hosting Thanksgiving. Since I'm responsible for putting it all together, I wanted to keep the menu consistent so that people could actually enjoy a cohesive meal. I thought I'd avoid drama by asking her to bring non-food items instead, like wine, soda, and even some flowers. I explained to her, very kindly, I thought, that I just wanted to make things easy and streamlined and I'd handle the main dishes. But she didn't take it well. She got offended and told me I was being controlling and shutting her out of the family gathering. Then she accused me of making her feel inadequate and said that Thanksgiving is about everyone contributing, not me deciding what's acceptable. I told her that everyone appreciates her effort, but that she could contribute in other ways and still be a part of it. She doubled down and said she's bringing her famous green bean casserole whether I like it or not. You need to be radically candid with your sister and be like, girlfriend, you are wasting food. You are putting food straight in the trash and no one wants it. No one wants that around.
Good on the OP for confronting them though. And because it's so easy to just be like, well, they're just going to bring something and it's going to be bad every fucking year. Right. They at least were like, can you bring plates? Can you bring flowers?
Can you bring wine? Like everyone wants wine at Thanksgiving. Yeah, exactly. Right. Bring some cider. Bring something nice.
They're not the sister isn't being included into the fact that nobody's eating her food. Like that's
right. You'd think she would notice. You'd think she would notice after every meal. There's one bite taken out of the stuffing, and the whole pan is still there.
Now, the lingering problem with a lot of Am I the Assholes is this fake? And this did bring up the little question because this sister is like, you're making me feel inadequate. You're really pushing me. Like, so, which I've had that happen though in my life where you're like, hey, we're having a small issue, and then it becomes huge issue. That's an overarching thing. So like that's not necessarily, but what that kind of keyed in my brain of like.
I will tell you, Will, right now we are not even close to the end.
That's not great. It's not great. Okay, it's gonna get crazier then.
It's gonna get crazier. Now my mom and a couple of other family members have chimed in saying I should just let her bring whatever she wants because it's Thanksgiving and it's the thought that counts. They're acting like I'm committing some huge offense by wanting the food to be enjoyable for everyone and not having random experimental dishes that no one will eat. But I feel like I'm just trying to keep the meal enjoyable and frankly edible. I don't think it's wrong to want guests to actually enjoy the food, especially since I'm putting in a lot of effort to host. Am I really being unreasonable here? Am I the asshole? This is the original post.
Okay. Now,
I definitely see the mother's perspective of keeping the peace being like,
yes,
it's no skin off your back to just let her bring it and have no one eat it, and we can just move on with our lives.
That's literally what I would do. That is actually...
Like, that is probably what I would do. I'd be like, I would probably tell everybody ahead of time, my sister is going to bring something crazy because she always does. Don't worry about it. Don't feel obligated to eat it. There'll be lots of other food.
Nobody ever feels obligated to eat it. Let's be real. They're not going to be like, oh, great coconut in the green beans. I love it.
Right.
Like, I would, yeah. Other than the problem I could see as a host, too much, not enough counter space, too many cooks in the kitchen. Those are problems I could see. Yeah. If there's no secondary, I have a big family, so there's always like basically two of everything. Like if you don't like one person's turkey, somebody else brought a fucking turkey, so like eat their turkey instead.
Right.
So if there isn't a replacement and you love green bean casserole and they're fucking up, I could see that being like, hey, I would like some good green bean casserole, but it doesn't seem to be the case in this. So I agree with the mother. And
I would also say from the sister perspective, there are few ways in life to have people immediately lose a lot of respect for you. One of them is to serve them your bad cooking. I feel like that's a way when people just eat your bad food and go, oh no, this is not good. And I feel like somebody should tell the sister, like, listen, I can appreciate your artistic sense, but it's not working for you. It's actually having the opposite effect from what you want.
I do agree that because she was kind of just like towing the line a little bit of like, hey, if you want to try to do it this other way.
Right, yeah.
But what this person, their response, I don't know if a direct response, like approach of like, listen, your food is shit. It tastes like shit. It smells like shit. It's shit. Don't bring it. Like, I don't know if that person would react well to like a very aggressive way that I think you and I might be like, hey, we need to have a conversation. Let's like, your food isn't that good. If you need help on it, we could try to look up recipes.
Why don't you buddy with somebody, right? Like,
yeah, that could also be good. But also if this person's domineering, they could also dominate that conversation of like, I'm gonna make my famous, like especially calling her famous. Nobody ate it.
Green bean casserole that no one ate. Yeah, it is famous. It's infamous. It's the wrong reason. But okay, so that original post was 1 month before Thanksgiving. So we're going to go to an update. Yeah. Update. All right, so Thanksgiving is now just a little over 2 weeks away, and somehow things have escalated even further than I thought possible. I thought maybe my sister's, quote, Thanksgiving trio experience would be the peak of the drama. Well, it turns out I was wrong. Since the last update, my sister has become fully committed to making her dishes the main attraction. She's been dropping hints in the family group chat, which I'm still not included in, but shout out to my cousin for the screenshots.
That's weird. That was a lot of
Side note, very strange that this person is not in their family group chat.
And they're hosting Thanksgiving.
I don't know what to think of this person. Because you'd think that the person hosting Thanksgiving would be core to the family, but then they're not in the family group chat? Like what is going on here?
I've literally been invited to a friends group chat that I didn't know existed. It was me and another girl in the greater friend group that wasn't in this group chat. Got invited. Somebody in the group chat went, I don't like those people, and got rid of us. And I was like, and I told people that were already in the group chat that I was like, listen, I didn't know this existed. I was happier then. I didn't.
I have no skin in the game. I
know I'm being left out. Like knowledge that you're being left out is also insane. But yeah, this sister's already delusional, and this is already getting weird.
So she's been dropping hints in the family group chat about how this Thanksgiving will be, quote, one to remember, and calling it her Thanksgiving debut. She's apparently been referring to herself as the Thanksgiving head chef and has hinted that she's bringing some kind of culinary surprise centerpiece that will transform the whole experience.
This is Tommy Wiseau of cooking.
This is Tommy Wiseau of cooking.
They don't know how to make good bird, Mark. Listen, we need to come in, do our own thing. Why don't we make our own Thanksgiving? Like, it's the exact same logic of we could do it ourselves, and it's gonna be dog shit.
Even better.
It's gonna be awful.
From what I can piece together, she's planning on a main statement dish in addition to her original 3 side dishes. I'm picturing something equally bizarre, but on a much larger scale, and honestly, I'm terrified. If her green bean casserole was already pushing it, I can't even imagine what she thinks is worthy of being the centerpiece. Then, to make things even weirder, my mom texted me privately and suggested that I step back this year and let my sister shine since she's so excited about her contributions. My mom thinks that if we just give her this moment, it'll make her happy and she'll get it out of her system. She even hinted that maybe I should focus on decorations and drinks instead of the main dishes, which feels like an attempt to turn hosting over to my sister without actually saying it. So now I'm left with a choice. Go along with my mom's plan and let my sister essentially hijack Thanksgiving, or keep pushing back and risk a family showdown. I just wanted a nice Thanksgiving with dishes everyone would enjoy, but it seems like I'm either about to hand over the whole meal to her or prepare for some serious drama. Thanksgiving isn't even here yet, and it already feels like a circus. I'm half tempted to just sit back and see see what chaos unfolds, but part of me is still worried about subjecting the whole family to whatever artistic statement she has planned.
That's not on you. That's exactly what you should do.
You should. Yeah.
I would even go as far to be like, okay, does she want to host? I would completely, okay, she wants to do everything? Sure. Because this is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
Because no matter what OP does,
right.
If you let her do this and they keep being like, oh, great, it's delicious, and nobody eats anything, because the rubber's going to hit the road. The lie has to end once the fork with the food hits your taste buds. That's the end.
No lying there.
That's where your shit, boosting herself up, ends.
At some point, she will have to self-immolate. You will need to let it happen, and it's either you're hosting or you're not.
Yeah. Oh, this is 2 weeks.
All right.
2 weeks before it already it's
Here we go. Another update, Will. We got another update coming in.
I can't
Here we
wait.
are, the day before Thanksgiving, and things have continued to spiral. I decided to let my sister move forward with her trio experience. Good. I love that they keep calling it
trio experience.
Since pushing back would only make things worse.
Yeah.
I thought we had a plan. She'd bring her dishes, and I'd make sure there were plenty of other options to keep the peace. This morning, my mom let me know that my sister is now adding a surprise dish to her contributions. She's been very secretive about what it is, which has everyone's nervous after her past attempts.
This is a fucking drama queen, by the way. Nobody gives a shit about
Unbelievable.
Nobody cares.
You're pumping yourself up and no one cares.
Yeah, it's literally nobody. Yeah.
Everyone's standing around kind of frightened. My mom thinks it's sweet that my sister is putting in so much effort, but a few other family members are not as optimistic. My cousin texted me privately asking if I had backup food ready, and my dad casually mentioned bringing extra rolls just in case.
So everyone knows.
Dad knows and 100%. Is doing nothing.
Yes.
Dad knows is doing nothing.
The family
mom is enabling.
Yep.
And dad is doing nothing.
Currently, family is the asshole. I'm gonna
yeah.
That's what
At this point, I've decided to stick with the plan and let her have her moment. I'll still have a few traditional dishes on hand so no one goes hungry. Tomorrow will probably be chaotic, but it should at least make for a memorable holiday. Wish me luck. I'll update after Thanksgiving if anything noteworthy happens.
I need it. Theo.
Final update. This one is long. Buckle in.
Oh. I'm ready.
He's ready. He's strapped in. Thanksgiving dinner is officially over, and I genuinely don't know where to start. I feel like I just lived through a fever dream of culinary chaos and family drama, and I need a moment to breathe before I can even process everything. My cousin and I are heading out for drinks to dissect all of it because honestly, what just happened deserves its own Netflix special. I'll post photos later when I get home, but for now, let me try to give you the rundown.
Yes.
So, my sister showed up earlier than expected, which I should have seen coming. Yep. She came in like a storm, carrying not just her 3 dishes, but also this giant platter wrapped in foil, which she was clearly trying to make a big deal about. She immediately started rearranging the table, moving my dishes to the side so hers could take center stage. She even brought her own table runner and candles, saying something about setting the mood for a creative dining experience.
Holy shit. This is another part that I go, is this person a real person or a fantasy a Redditor
I don't know,
conjured?
but it's really good.
It's really good. I'm on the edge of my seat. This is the most like Am I the asshole I've ever been?
I decided not to fight her on it because at this point I just wanted to get through the night without a blow up.
Yeah,
I get it. She's now in your home. Okay, yeah. I get it. Her trio experience was, well, let's just say it was everything I feared and more. She started with a glittery potato mash that somehow managed to taste like a mix of sugar and sand.
Oh.
The glitter wasn't even edible glitter. What? It was craft glitter, which I didn't realize until one of the kids said, "This is crunchy." And I looked closer.
Oh my God, she's poisoning them. That's genuine
She's
poisoning.
Actively poisoning them.
Wow.
Genuinely. This is eating mashed potatoes and going, this is crunchy.
It's sandy. Like, great description because I can immediately imagine that mouthfeel. Ugh.
Then there was the cranberry and oyster relish.
What?
Yes, oysters and cranberry. Will is freaking out.
That's awful. Because this is even worse because my cousin made the best cranberry relish I've ever had at our Thanksgiving.
You're so viscerally reacted to
oysters, because I imagine that she just threw in some oysters with the juice and stuff.
It looked like someone had spilled jam into clam chowder, and the smell alone was enough to make me lose my appetite. Finally, she brought a pumpkin curry casserole that had raisins in it for some reason, and this weird fishy smell that clung to the air for way too long.
Oh.
But the piece de resistance was her surprise centerpiece dish, which turned out to be a turkey gelatin mold.
Oh
yes,
my God.
She took ground turkey, mixed it with some kind of broth and seasonings, and turned it into a wobbly, translucent mold shaped like a turkey.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are we in the 1950s? Like, is she bringing Jell-O back? Like, what is she doing?
She even garnished it with parsley and cherry tomatoes to make it festive. I wish I were kidding. The entire table went silent when she unveiled it, except for my cousin, who immediately started coughing to cover up what I'm pretty sure was a laugh. Yeah, the little cousin was dying because he knew no one was biting that.
I would absolutely die laughing.
I would die.
Because that's my relationship with my family. If somebody pulled that shit, I would point and laugh. I would actively, fuck you, what the fuck are you doing?
Things hit their peak when my mom, who had been defending her this entire time, took one bite of the gelatin mold and just froze. She didn't say anything, but you could see the regret on her face. My sister, noticing the lack of enthusiasm, decided to go on this long speech about how Thanksgiving food is too boring and how she's trying to challenge our palates. She even called my ham and mashed potatoes uninspired, which was rich coming from someone serving glitter sand potatoes.
This is uninspired work. What are you doing? You need to give me big performance. What are you doing? Give me big turkey. Make it jiggle. Like, what are you talking about? What are you doing?
The breaking point came when my aunt, who's usually the peacekeeper, tried the gelatin mold and actually gagged. She tried to be polite about it, but my sister saw her reaction and completely lost it. She started yelling about how nobody in the family supports her and how we're all stuck in the past with our unoriginal food.
This person is an asshole. This is the biggest. This is a cartoon character. Once again, Am I the Asshole has produced another fucking cartoon character.
She even accused me of sabotaging her dishes by not hyping them up enough to everyone. At this point, half the table was trying not to laugh, and the other was just staring at their plates, probably wondering how we got here. My sister ended up storming out of the house, but not before saying something along the lines of, "You'll regret not appreciating my vision when I'm famous."
This is her villain arc? This self-made villain arc?
Yoko Ono arc.
Have you ever seen the meme of somebody who's riding a bike and they stick a stick in their own wheels and then they fall over and they go, it's like they blame it on something else. It's them being like, you didn't hype me up enough. It's like, no amount of hype was going to make this hypeable. Nothing.
She left most of her food behind, which my cousin and I quietly threw out after dinner.
Good.
The rest of the night actually turned out pretty nice once the tension was gone. My dad's emergency ham was a lifesaver, and everyone agreed that next year we're either going to a restaurant or just skipping Thanksgiving altogether. So now I'm sitting here wondering how this is even became my life.
That's not the fucking solution. You have one bad apple. Like, why? Don't invite her. You could have Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Handcuff her to somewhere other than the kitchen, and then let her in only to eat. That's the easy solution.
So many people in my life, I've either called an asshole or somebody else has called an asshole, and they've tried to argue against it, and it's like, no. That's not for you to decide that you're not an asshole. That's for other people to say about you.
Right.
This is like the moment that you put the food there, it's like being an artist. Once you unveil that jiggly Jello turkey,
you're done.
It's into
it's
the
up
world.
To the masses.
Death of the author.
Up for the masses.
It's up for the. And so if they take a bite and they go, "This is bad," you then go, "Okay, what do I need to change?" But this person said, "I'm perfect. You're all fucking idiots. I'm out of here." Like, what are you doing?
I really appreciate that the original post was like, my sister cooks bad food. Am I the asshole for telling her she can't cook? And then the person does 3 updates, just taking victory lap after victory lap after victory lap.
Yeah.
Being like, my sister, I'm going to dunk her into the middle of nowhere.
A moron. Cannot cook. Bad at cooking. Here's what she made and why it was bad.
And why she's bad and why she should feel bad
and
forever.
And what she said. This is the easiest. OP is not the asshole. In the first post, like you kind of insinuated, kind of a little bit jerky. Like that was I was a little bit up. Yeah, I was like, we don't have enough information. We don't know if this person's being rude, because that's also comes up in a lot of Reddit stories. It's very one-sided. But then they kept on giving updates where you're like,
updates and updates.
This is a problem. This is a family issue that they have been coddling this. How old is the sister? I bet they said at the top.
I don't think they said, but I mean, I think they're all in their 20s.
This is young behavior. This is spoiled child behavior, where they've never failed.
Like, oftentimes we're like, I'm the asshole posts. Either the poster frames it in the most optimistic way for themselves, or you're not left enough information where you're like, I kind of can't get a sense for the whole situation because there's so much context that is lost by this post.
Yes.
I feel like this post has so much context that I am in their family. I am at that Thanksgiving table. I know the Jell-O mold, and I'm like, this is too much for me.
I have smelled the uncle's burps. I know.
I have smelled the cranberry oysters.
Oh, I forgot about the cranberry oysters. Oh, okay, so. Because, dude, the mom is coddling. Because that was the first thing that pushed this was, make sure that's probably a big thing in their family. Is like, well, we don't want to set her off. Like, because she's constantly being the one that's being an asshole.
She's the diva.
And then the dad is doing the classic dad move of, I brought a whole ham in my pants. Do you want it? Like,
the aunt visibly gagging. It just puts it over the top.
If you're making bad food that people gag at, it's not food. It's
not food.
Nothing.
No one wants that.
Just the ego on this girl. But just to kind of put a bow on it, absolutely the asshole. The sister's an asshole. The family also kind of an asshole, although they kind of brought
They need to have a tough discussion with her about Thanksgiving.
It's a bunch of people who are very passive, and this girl is like, That happens in friend groups that I'm in, where it's a bunch of passive, very nice people who are like in Canadian standoffs where they're like, no, you go ahead. What would you like? And then one person who has like an ego or like has a vision is just barrels through and is able to just like, I'm doing everything. And everyone goes, okay, I guess we're going to let
him. And then they end up having a bad time about it.
And then they have the gall to be like, man, we should just cancel Thanksgiving. Let's go to a restaurant.
like, no,
you can get good. The OP was like, hey, I was trying to make all this food, and then you motherfuckers took it away from me, so let's try it again without her.
Right.
Like, I would, especially because I don't know the relationship between these people, but if it was my brothers, like, my brother is at least, my middle brother, great chef. Ian is a great chef. Brennan does not cook.
But imagine if one of your brothers insisted on cooking and hijacking, then you'd be like, no, we're having a conversation about this now. This is not happening.
Everyone would know, because like it's also a personality thing of like certain people. I love my family. Not everybody in my family is really good at, not very trustworthy when it comes to like
some people are good at cooking. Yes, some people are good at cooking. Some people are good at cleaning up afterwards.
Yeah, there's different skills for different folks. So like, if my blind uncle came over and was like, I made some Jello sticks, like I would
made my like, favorite macaroni.
I might be a little bit. I'm like, hey, Uncle Jim, you do chili dogs. That's what you do. That's the one thing that you could do, and that's for 4th of July. That's the other side of the year. We don't do that now.
You're a summer guy.
You're a summer guy. You have a pool. That's why we go to your
That's why we like you.
Everybody else has their role. Don't do this. Don't go out here. This is the one time. This is one of the two times that I go, don't be creative. Don't get out of your lane.
Don't do it.
It's going to ruin everyone's time. Well, hopefully we weren't out too far out of our lane. I don't think we were. I think we nailed that.
We stayed right in our lane.
Yeah. But if you don't think we were in our lane, send us an email at segmentcitypodcast@gmail.com. If you enjoyed the program, give us star ratings and reviews on your favorite podcast networks of choice. Hit up our YouTube for full episodes. And we have a big thank you to give to somebody in particular.
That is to Rachel Robinson. She does our intro music, and she has banger tracks you can find on your streaming platform of choice. And some say that this past Thanksgiving, she just carried her whole Thanksgiving plate down to the Salt Lake and said, I'm going to take a big bath while I eat my turkey. I'm going to salt brine my skin while I eat this cranberry sauce and this mashed potatoes. And that's how she did it. And that's how they do it down in Utah. So, that's just what some people say, though.
Can you swim in there? You probably can, because you can swim in the Dead Sea, I think, which is like mostly salt. But that makes you like float, which is very interesting.
You're just brining yourself.
Yeah, it gets right into your...
that's good eating.
But now we're going to go to iwaspoisoned.com.
Very, very on point for this episode.
This gets very into my... daughter, what was the Spaceballs reference? My former roommate's cousin's former, my cousin's former roommate. It's a little bit there. This is from McDonald's in Hamburg, Germany.
Whoa.
My partner and son have had the food on the stomach. My partner had diarrhea, and my son had vomiting and diarrhea. My girlfriend's daughter, who also ate from McDonald's, also had to vomit several times. And so did the sister and daughter of a friend.
The whole gang is having a bad toilet time.
The daughter, my girlfriend's daughter. Everybody having a bad time.
All having a bad time.
Is it weird to... I feel like the setup of having a girlfriend and the daughter of the girlfriend is very European. Maybe because I met somebody in Europe that had that same configuration. But anyway, feels very German to me for whatever reason.
Going to McDonald's in Hamburg, very German.
Very good. That's also a funny reference. Hey, you would think that they would get good hamburgers.
They'd get it right.
That did make them diarrhea on the stomach. They had hamburger on the stomach. But you know what? I have the end of this podcast on my mind.
And I've got it on my stomach. And therefore we draw to a close.